Hello everybody, let's quickly revise the rules of transformations. Begin with in spite, despite. Arun was weak, but he passed the examination. In spite of being weak, Arun passed the examination. Despite being weak, Arun passed the examination. Point to be noted, with in spite we use of, but despite comes alone. And in both the sentences, placing comma is compulsory. Begin with as soon as, no sooner, and hardly. When the guests arrived, the lights went off. As soon as the guests arrived, the lights went off. No sooner did the guests arrive than the lights went off. When we begin with as soon as, comma is compulsory, but when we begin with no sooner, instead of comma, we use than. As the tense is in past tense, so with as soon as we use only the past tense arrived, but with no sooner we use did after no sooner and V1, that is arrive, after the noun guests. Hardly had the guests arrived when the lights went off. In case of hardly, if the tense is past, we use had after hardly, and verb 3, that is arrived, after the noun the guests. And in place of than, we use when. Begin with unless. If you do not confess your guilt, you will be punished. Unless you confess your guilt, you will be punished. Point to be noted, unless is a negative word, so you can't use any negative word like no or not with it. Begin with although, notwithstanding. He is hardworking, yet he earns little. Although he is hardworking, he earns little. Notwithstanding the fact that he is hardworking, he earns little. In both the cases, placing comma is compulsory. Begin with but for. If you had not supported me, I would have lost the election. But for your support, I would have lost the election. But for is a negative word, so we can't place no or not with it. Preferably, a noun follows but for. Comma is compulsory, and generally the latter portion remains same. Use TW2. He is so old that he cannot walk. He is too old to walk. The girl is so beautiful that she is admired by all. The girl is too beautiful not to be admired by all. TW2 is a negative word, so one has to be very careful while using it. For example, the first sentence, he is so old that he cannot walk, is a negative sentence. So in the answer, when we use TW2, the meaning remains same. But in the second sentence, the girl is so beautiful that she is admired by all, is an affirmative sentence. So when we use TW2, it has to be followed by not to keep the meaning same. Begin with not only but also. John is wise and industrious. Not only is John wise, but also industrious. Besides being wise, John is industrious. Point to be noted, whenever you begin with not only, you have to put the auxiliary verb before the subject. In this case, the auxiliary verb is should be placed before the subject John. Begin with in the event of and owing to. She could not attend the meeting as she was sick. In the event of her sickness, she could not attend the meeting. Owing to her sickness, she could not attend the meeting. In both the cases, we place noun after the phrases. Use nevertheless. In the face of several difficulties, he continued. He met several difficulties. Nevertheless, he continued. Nevertheless is equivalent to but, and you can use it just like but, and no comma is needed. Use lest. If you do not work hard, you will be unsuccessful. Work hard lest you should be unsuccessful. Lest is a negative word and it takes should after it. These are the few things you must do before your exam. Solve previous 10 years question papers. Practice narration, voice change, degree of comparison, joining and other grammar exercises. Learn prepositions and phrasal verbs. And last but not least, practice tense passages. Hello learners, hope you all are preparing well for your upcoming examination. This is a short video to inform you that there has been a change in the rule of using lest in a sentence. According to the previous rule, it was mandatory for us to use should along with lest. But as per the new rule, we have been forbidden to use should or might along with lest. Now look at the changes carefully. Previous rule: keep quiet or you will be punished. Keep quiet lest you should be punished. New rule: keep quiet lest you be punished. Point to be noted: we can't use should or might anymore. Let's check out few more examples. Example 1. I entered the room silently so as not to disturb the sleeping baby. Answer: I entered the room silently lest I disturb the sleeping baby. Example 2. If you do not study hard, you will score less. Answer: study hard lest you score less. Hello learners, hope you are doing well. Today we shall understand the rules of transformation of sentences beginning with unless. Unless is a conjunction which means if not, and we use it to link two clauses in a sentence. Unless can be used instead of if not in certain types of conditional sentences. Like if unless is followed by present tense, a past tense, or a past perfect tense only. We do not use will or would in the clause after unless. Unless is already negative in form, so we do not use not with unless. Now let's check out few examples. Unless you water the plants, they will die. Unless you study hard, you will regret it. You will damage your health unless you stop smoking. Point to be noted that whenever we begin with unless, comma is compulsory, but whenever we use unless in the middle of a sentence, we do not use comma. Now let's transform this if sentences into unless. If she does not arrive soon, we will have to go without her. Unless she arrives soon, we will have to go without her. So with unless, we did not use does not because unless is a negative word. Let's check out another sentence. If you do not work hard, you will not pass the exam. Answer: unless you work hard, you will not pass the exam.